And on this episode of Raven Wolfcar, Mr. Bub stalks birds. Yes, birds. That's what he's doing right now. Stalking birds. So yes, Mr. Bub is stalking birds. He's staring out the window, and pretty soon, I imagine he's probably going to launch himself headlong into where the birds are. If you don't mind, I'm just going to move this a little bit. There we are. Better. Okay. By the way, he is in rare form this morning, so if you see him suddenly hop up on the table or attempt to grab one of the stones that have been placed around here as the protective barrier, well, yeah, that's Mr. Bub for you. We are getting close to the weekend yet again. I hope you're doing well. It's traditional Thursday. Tomorrow will be full-scale Friday, which you know what that means. But for those of you just joining, you know what? I can't remember if I put that in the description below or not, so I'm just going to say it here, and if I haven't, which I will check, if I haven't, you visit my link tree, which is the first link in the description below, and that's no matter which site you're viewing this from. If you would like a personal reading, or you would like to give someone personal readings, you go to that link in that link tree, you find my Amazon wishlist or my Drive-Thru-RPG wishlist, you throw me something there, $35 or under, and I give you 2 readings. So 2 questions to be redeemed at any time, and then a birthday reading. Simple as that. Anything over $35 we'll kind of negotiate. So today I'm coming at you with Radiant Rider-Waite, which I'm laying down right now, Viking Oracle, which I've already laid down, and Spirit Animal Oracle. Also Lightworkers Oracle and Runes of the Gods, which make an appearance here, you know, every so often. And by the way, if you throw me a new deck, I use that deck in your readings. No kidding. Unless you have another set of cards that I use that you would prefer. Just keep in mind I will need a name, doesn't matter if it's real or not, and a month and day of birth. And that's it. That's as much information as I need or want. Oh, and your email address, because I'll be emailing you the link. And that's all I'll be emailing you. Maybe a preview of the reading as well. Just like a picture of it. That way, if it turns out to be something very useful, you can always turn it into a big photo and put it up on your wall. Or a poster, or a canvas print, or something like that. Just depends. Alrighty, so let's get right down to it, shall we? Starting with you. Normally, this card comes up as the guide, and it says that nothing's decided. So everything's kind of up in the air. But this is coming up for you today. And when it comes up for you, that's when I start having questions. Because I really want to know, are you really being indecisive? Is that not you? What are we looking at today? So we're looking at something completely blank. So the way is open. It's all up to you. There's tons of possibility out there. And you're it. You embody that possibility today. And let me tell you something, when you have the ability to embody possibility, it can be a great thing for you at times. It can also mean some disaster. Let me tell you why. When people see someone acting in a manner where they're free of concern, having concerns is one thing. Having concern is, of course, something else. But when you live your life completely consumed by this, anxiety culture that we're now living in. It's not consumer culture anymore, ladies and gentlemen. It's anxiety culture. 24/7, 365, up to the nanosecond. News, 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 news. If you can call it that. And it's got us all on edge. And then we see that one person walking around as if it's not bothering them. What is our instant reaction to that? Oh, son of a bitch. We start grumbling, or we start screaming at them, or we attack them on stage. Yes, people who embrace that anything's possible, and it's all up to them, and then they act in that manner. Yeah, some people are going to react with hostility toward it. But let's see who the guide is today. Fifth geared. So someone going around freely making peace. Someone going around just freely speaking their mind, but not being hostile about it. Trying to bring some sense and reason into the situation. Trying to calm both sides down. Let me tell you something. You want to know who I'm seeing right here? Possibly someone who votes third party. And that's not a knock on them. It's just they encounter a lot of hostility from both sides. But right here and here is where they shrug their shoulders and they look at the person who is just seething with concern, grinding their teeth and wringing their hands and, "Aren't you worried?" And they're going, "No, not really." And they make their way on. What I see is someone unshakable. And that's a great thing so far. So let's see who they're emulating in nature. Because I'm thinking it's you watching this right now. The vulture spirit is not quite the same as the vulture itself. We look at vultures and we think, God, those things are dirty. Those things are, we don't want to be anywhere near them. Buzzards. But the fact of the matter is, they're very much needed. They ensure nothing is wasted. Nothing at all. They may not be very pretty. They may not even be very graceful. But they make sure nothing goes to waste. Just recently, as a matter of fact, just yesterday this went into effect. There is a ban on plastic bags. Or so it's thought. Now, we're going to be fielding questions at work for about 2 years. And I say that because what it is, and let me clarify this, it is a ban on single-use plastic bags or paper bags. But they have to be single-use to be the banned versions. If you can reuse them, obviously they're not banned. So you can still get bags. There's a grocery store that I shop at. You pretty much have to bring your own bags. They don't supply them. And if they do, they charge you for them. And so you're buying their bags. They're reusable ones. But you pay that fee one time per bag and then you're using them over and over again. The single-use paper bags that they had, they charged you. And it was, I want to say, about 3/4 of the price of a reusable. That's a lot of money being thrown away after a while. So they kind of disincentivize the the single-use bags. On one hand, I understand it, but on the other hand, I'm like, jeez, we got so many other problems to worry about. But we're here to make sure nothing is wasted. No words, no movement, no thoughts, and especially no time. That thing about time being your most precious asset, guess what? You still have to vet certain people. You really have to be a little discerning, dare I say discriminating, against those who would waste your time. Don't allow anyone to waste your time, not even me. If this isn't something that you feel you need, that's fine. If you think this is something someone else needs, give them the link. You never know. Might help them out. And on top of that, whatever few minutes you might have spent watching this video will not have been wasted. See what I'm saying? So let's not waste any of our time, let's not waste any of our resources, let's not waste any of our assets. We understood? Okay. Sorry. The ever-changing temperatures have really messed with my sinuses. And I really don't take anything, so, you know. Anyway, tarot card time. Got a Six of Cups here. Got a Four of Pentacles. And we've got the Star in reverse. Okay, so, Six of Pentacles. It's always a good time to be a little generous. Just remember, don't waste anything. That which you give away, you must also give back to yourself, but it's also important, let's not hold on too tightly to things. This can be detrimental. See, we've got kind of two polar opposites here. The Six of Cups and then the Four of Pentacles. Or no, I'm sorry, Six of Cups and Four of Pentacles. When you have those two in opposition to each other, it gets kind of bad because you're not exactly balancing. You may be doing too much of one and then you're shifting extremes here. It's important to find that happy medium because it's really important not to be full of yourself today, and that's what the Star in reverse represents. Don't get too cocky. Don't think you've got it all figured out. Because just the minute you think you do, that's when life's going to hand you a little curveball and say, oh really? Is that where it's going? Okay, well, check this out. Also, one of the things that I'd like to point out with the Star in reverse, I'm seeing some impotence here. And that's not the innuendo-laden impotence. That means all of your, I'm guilty of this too. When you start speaking on something, what's the hot button topic of the day? Oh yeah, right. And boy, everybody's got an opinion, and everybody's got a vested interest in you holding that same opinion, right? But remember, even though you might have an opinion on that, don't let it go to your head. Probably a good idea to stay open. Probably a good idea to really embrace that void again. Embrace a position that maybe makes peace with both extremes. We're seeing both extremes right here. And you know what else I see with just the tarot itself? Both sides see themselves as the Six of Cups here. Very generous and very giving and very, altruistic. While seeing the other side as the Four of Pentacles, that those stingy sons of bitches. It's all about them, right? Yeah, I know. It's like that in just about every issue. And they're both very much in this reverse star card right now. That cannot be you today. When it comes to you, you go from generous to locking it all down to becoming very full of yourself. I don't see this as a definite. I see it as a warning. So let's go to the Lightworkers Oracle. Let's see what these cards have to say today. Starting with Spiritual Service, which is always a great thing. Key of Light. And then we have Initiation by Water. So what I'm seeing so far is, in spiritual service, yes, you're going to have to do some meditation. You're going to have to really get in tune with whatever it is you believe most. Really get in touch. Whether it's prayer, meditation, to me it's the same thing. Same exact thing. Different t-shirt on it. Because this comes up. And this will unlock everything. That's what keys do. They unlock things. They open doors. And then on top of that, the initiation by water. Some see that as baptism. But with that spiritual service, your self-doubt, that can be a very, very tough habit to break. It can slow down all your spiritual progress and the fulfillment of your life purpose. So ultimately it won't stop you, but it can make your progress seem more challenging. It's easier to fulfill your purpose when you acknowledge your own goodness and talent and do what you love to the best of your ability. Just realize that you're enough. Your work is enough. It's good. You have something of value to offer, but you've got to let go of the fear of failure and concern about your ability and your right to live a happy and fulfilled life of success. Because, guess what? Right now, you may be having doubts in the spirit, but it still believes in you. Alright? Now, so your spiritual gift is that key. And it allows you to open any door, just like I said before. Clear away any of the obstructions for yourself. Whether that's physical, emotional, or psychological. So there's no need to feel trapped or locked out of a situation that you want to get into. You hold within your hands a divine key that will assist you in many, many ways. And then when we go to initiation by water. So you're meant to communicate with the higher guidance from a loving spiritual world. So your initiation by water will further open your receiving channels, dislodge those lower vibrational material, and sensitize you to the subtle realms of light. You're being open to a world of which you may only dreamed, such is its beauty, grace, and love. Remember when I said the tarot looks like a warning? This looks like a signpost, bridge out. This is telling you what the detour is. You're not wasting your time by going into the spiritual. You're actually maximizing its use. And for your runes today, we have Thurisaz, Ingvaz, and Perthro. So right now you do have conflict. You've got challenges. Or at least that's what you're perceiving. And in perception of those conflict and challenges, the question is, how do you arise to meet them? Well, the action card is Ingvaz. And this one, I can definitely see unity. But it also kind of focuses a little bit on the masculine energies. Remember, yesterday, Freya came up, who she's that feminine energy. She's that intuition. I'm going to get to that in just a minute. But this one's calling you to use some logic, reason. Don't take leave of your senses. And then for Perthro, you've been here before, you know how this works. This is where your intuition's going to come into play. This is not a time to do it before it makes sense. That's what this is representing. Kind of do it before it makes sense. But really, what you have is something a little more powerful than that. Because right there with Ingvaz, you're also committed to peace. And of course with Perthro, you need to be very much in tune with your intuition. You know what else we call intuition? We call it a gut feeling. I just saw a headline yesterday. I don't know if this is from something recent, but the headline read, "You can't go with your gut." And of course it was talking about not doing your own research, trusting only these people, and I'm like, boy, that is a signpost to me to go with my gut. A news outlet telling me not to go with my intuition, which has yet to lead me wrong. I don't know, but kind of getting the feeling that I really shouldn't be listening to that supposed news agency. Which, to be honest, I really don't listen to any of them, because to me they're all out to make a buck, and actually reporting news loses them money. It's not information, it's infotainment, and has been for a very long time. Sorry to break it to you. Anyway. So overall, I'm definitely seeing you now need to step out of your fear zone. Embrace being the possibility. Because if you're possible, nothing's impossible, right? Things are either I'm possible or they're impossible. Nothing's impossible today, but it's up to you. You definitely have this this moment where you can get all kind of haughty. You can get all kinds of how can I put it? All up in your head. You know it all. Everyone else knows nothing. You know, how dare you question me? But if you're really down with the spirit, you're actually going to be better off. You'll find that nice balance between the logic and reason and the intuition. That's how you face those challenges, and that's how you beat them. And you beat them by creating peace. But you have to embody it. That's the possibility. The possibility that you can be at peace with yourself and the world around you. And that's all in the spiritual right here. Today's a great day to engage with it. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope that you got something out of this reading today. If not, pass it on to someone else. You never know. They may need it. In any case, I love you all. Take care of yourselves and each other. And as always, my friends, family, tribe, and neighbors, shine on.